Well, I'm a Methodist preacher's kid, a PK, and I know something about watch nights. We had a lot of them in the 50s and 60s. I didn't know then that they were officially in the book of worship as covenant renewal services. Covenant, don't you like that word? It kind of reminds me of resolutions, but it's kind of stronger. Now, to resolve to do something, that denotes strength. But I'm afraid the word resolutions has kind of devolved in recent years down to just kind of good intentions. And we all know how good intentions go with the road to you know where, don't we? I can imagine this weekend with the millions and millions of good intentions going out into the ether. Oh, Beelzebub and his buddies are getting ready to collect all those paving stones and add new lanes to the expressway to you know where. Well, tonight I want to talk about 3 dates. Today is the first one because today is the very day that my buddy of 57 years, Mike Bach, is welcomed into the ranks of the officially elderly. Welcome, Mike. Happy 75th birthday. He's always been a guy who has challenged my intellect and challenged my conscience. And Sheila and I just love to see him coming. We'll watch and wait for him. He'll show up in our driveway and spend a few days with us about once a year, and we sure do enjoy that, and we remember him on his birthday. And then another day I want to tell you about is on New Year's Day, or New Year's Eve, 1974, because my family was all waiting. My sister Carol was going to have a baby. And sure enough, Larissa got here in time to be a tax deduction. Oh, that little Larissa was a joy. I can remember when she was 4 or 5, she and I invented a game. I would stand with my arms out. I was the parallel bars. And she'd come running across the lawn, grab my right arm, swing up and flop her legs over my left arm. She'd hang by her legs, swing way out that way, back again, grab my right arm again, stick a landing, throw her arms in the air, and ta-da! And we'd do it over again and over again and over again. And pretty soon I was doing it with more nieces and nephews, and then with my own 2 little girls. And at 75, recently I did it with my oldest grandgirl. I've got 2 more grandgirls. I hope these arms will stay in shape enough to do that for just a few more years yet. Well, that brings us to the last day of the year, 1970. That's when Sheila was introducing me to the whole Snell family reunion at Quincy, Florida. They had it on Granny's birthday. Granny was Annie Snell. And oh, what a wonderful woman, and what a wonderful time we had that day. I wish I had time to tell you about her butter roll. Oh, that deserves a whole story by itself, but that'll have to come later. What I am going to tell you about is that whole gang was so accepting and loving of me right off the bat, especially Annie Snell. She was maybe the most unconditionally loving person I ever met in my life. But that wasn't the end of the day. Sheila and I drove from there and went on to Bluntstown, Florida, to meet Sheila's good friend Judy and Judy's boyfriend Gary to see in the new year twice. We drove across the Apalachicola Bridge to the Eastern time zone to celebrate one New Year, and then back across the bridge to Bluntstown to celebrate it in the Central time zone at Judy's church, where they were having an all-night singing. And oh, they were a Pentecostal church. I want to know you, that was a gobsmacking service for this Methodist PK. But we had to get on the road pretty quick. We were going to try to get back to Sheila's house by 3 or so anyway. And it was sometime between 2 and 3 that I pulled off of Buck Lake Road onto that little dirt road that goes to Sheila's house there, her mom and daddy's house. And that's where I'd been waiting for my opportunity. I pulled to the side. Sheila and I had been together all day, but we'd been with other people. There might have been a peck or two, but I hadn't had a chance to give that girl a proper kiss, and I wanted to do it. But I also wanted to make a covenant with her. Oh, not that official one. That would come a little later. But this was the night that I wanted to tell her something. And I knew in my heart that it was really a covenant because I believe that love is a promise. So that's the night that I told Sheila Matthews, I love you. And she reciprocated. So those things have been on my mind while I've been doing up my list of good intentions. Gonna eat less, exercise more, clean up that storage room upstairs. But this year, I think, in light of all this, there are 3 other resolutions I want to make, and I hope they'll be closer to the covenant end of the scale rather than good intention end. I want to covenant this year in 2023 to challenge my mind and my conscience, as my friend Mike Bach would do. I want to covenant this year to be as enthusiastic and exuberant for life as that little Larissa running across the lawn to swing on my arms. And I want all of my loved ones to know that I am accepting of them and that I love them unconditionally, just as I was accepted and loved by Annie Snell. And for you out there, I just wish you much love in 2023 and adventures. May your joys just be many, and may your troubles be few. And may they all, joys and troubles, make great stories.